This is no money, mo money. This little Lala's latest business venture went belly up. Now he can't even afford a monthly subscription. But he's determined to turn his luck around. With the few extra personal rules forcing me to craft and gather for my items and limiting access to advanced jobs, we're in for quite a ride as we complete everything in the Final Fantasy XIV free trial. No, I have nowhere near enough materia to do the Alexandrite step. That's the thing. I can get the last 20 Alexandrite that I need super easy. That's easy. I'll just run 4 maps and I'm done. But I have nowhere near enough materia to actually do the Alexandrite step. You need 11 at each stage. That's the thing. I have 10 here. I don't even have 11 here, which means I can't even push any of these up to the point where I could use any of these 2s. I may have to skip the Alexandrite step this week. I may have to dedicate like an entire week to just running around with my low-level gear sets and gathering time nodes so that I can just spirit bond and extract as much materia as physically possible. This week I may dedicate to the warrior quests. That may be the case. I may do the warrior quest since my warrior's at 50. That would give me 1 more week to dedicate to just grinding out spirit bonding my gear and pulling as much materia as I can out of it. Because yeah, there's no way I can do the Alexandrite step with the materia I have. I have a lot of materia. I do have a lot of materia. The problem is the Alexandrite step needs 1s, then 2s, then 3s, then 4s. You need a total of 75, and in order to upgrade to each stage, you need 11 materia. So I don't even have 11 of any particular one, right? So I can't even upgrade any of these stats up to the point where I can use the rank 2s. Which means that all of this materia here, all these 2, 3s, and 4s, is utterly worthless so long as I don't have at least 11 of the 1s in any stat. I can't even get to using any of these 2, 3s, or 4s yet. Since I need another week to get the relic stuff, the materia for the relic and all that, this week I'm going to focus on getting the rest of my classes. I think I'll go ahead and get them now. And I can work on pushing some of them up to about 30 so they'll be ready to unlock jobs when I get around to it. Yeah, Gladiator, Pugilist, Lancer, and Rogue. And then I'm going to work on the 30 to 50 for Warrior questline. So I'm going to knock out the ARR questline for Warrior so that I can pick up any leftover Warrior skills I don't have yet. Push me up to a decent, like, 50-ish Warrior so that I can then, like, run some content with Warrior if I feel like it. Alright, buddy. Give me one of my favorite classes that turned into one of my least favorite jobs. I went with this because it's more of a Marauder look rather than the big heavy armors that you'd maybe on a Gladiator or Paladin. This seems more like a Marauder look to me. But this is a very rogue look too. Hey Jack, how you doing? Give me some daggers and some cool skills that I can use. And then please never tell me to go become a ninja. Ninja's not the worst. Ninja's fine. I rag on Ninja all the time because of what it did to Rogue is my problem with Ninja. Like, Ninja's a fine job, but I don't have any real interest in playing Ninja. Rogue, on the other hand, if it had shaped up to be something more like a Corsair or something cool like that, I would have been much more interested. Yeah. Like, I want to play a Thancred Rogue. I wanted to play a Corsair. I wanted to play a Pirate Rogue. And then the game went, no, but you want to be a ninja. You really want to be a ninja. I'm like, I really don't. You really want to cast mudras. I really don't. I just want to be a swashbuckling rogue. Which now I fulfill with the delusion that I'm basically a ninja whenever I play. You want to cast mudras. Believe it. Believe it. Oh my god. Now I fulfill my rogue fantasy by going and playing Viper and just pretending I'm still a rogue. Between no, go play ninja, because that's the actual rogue job, and no, go play Viper instead. My choice is go play Viper instead, and just pretend to be a ninja. Or not a ninja, pretend to be a rogue. Viper is more what I think a rogue advanced job should be, even though the lore is completely not right, than ninja is. Like, forget all this stupid mudras and shurikens and all that nonsense. Forget all that. That's stupid. That's dumb. Instead, I'm just a fucking dual blade swashbuckling wielding guy who like goes crazy every so often, like a berserk thing. Almost something you might expect maybe from like a pirate swashbuckler who can basically just go nuts and just fly at the enemies as fast as possible and slash and hack at them. I just liked the idea that Rogue was like this shadowy organization that upheld the code, right? This idea that's like Rogue is this organization that works from behind the scenes in the once pirate, now like upstanding kingdom or whatever, to make sure that all the black sails stick by the code and no one's violating it and stuff. Is like the sort of Assassin's Creed thing that Rogue has going on is really interesting to me. Rogues are like 1,000 times a cooler concept than anything they ever did with the ninjas in this game. Lancers Guild, refine your skills with a polearm. I mean, no thanks. I'm good. Sorry, I don't really play Dragoon. Dragoon's okay. Visually, lore-wise, aesthetically, all that stuff, Dragoon's actually pretty cool. My problem with the Dragoon is much more mechanical than it is visual or aesthetics or any of that. My problem with Dragoon is that I set up my hotbars in sort of a very specific way. In fact, I can show you what I mean. Right here on Warrior is actually a pretty good place for me to show you what I mean. This changes a little bit based on the role, obviously. Tanks and DPS is about the same. Healer is very different because they have a lot of heals and very few attacks, so I set up my bars a little differently. But generally, I use 1, 2, 3, and 4 for my attacks. So like all of my attacks go here. Things like your 1, 2, 3, your instant casts and OGCDs, but like all of my attacks basically go on like these 12 buttons here. Like just so I can be like, whatever class I'm playing, if this action is on this button, then it's probably this sort of action. It might be different specific ways mechanically, but it's probably this type of action. That's kind of how I tend to set up my bars, which really is just me saying all that to lead into the idea that me mentioning that like I really dislike certain classes because they just really do not play well with my bar setup. Like half of the actions on Dragoon are I deal X amount of damage to the enemy, right? It's just straight up, I'm gonna hit the enemy and I'm gonna deal some damage to them type attacks. You know what I mean? They have like 15, 16, 18 that are just straight up like, I'm gonna spear the enemy and deal X amount of damage to them while just standing there. I'm not even talking about jumps. I put Dragoon's jumps on completely different buttons. I'm talking about they're straight up just like, I'm gonna do a normal action with my polearm and deal damage to the enemy. They have like 15 or 16 of these. I have 12 slots on my bars that I use for attacks, and Dragoon takes all of that and then some. I end up having to move actions to places where I do not put them on any other class. And so it feels very weird and awkward to try and remember where my attacks are on Dragoon when I'm playing it. Well, Meta-Adventurer, do you want to pokey poke? Yes, I want to pokey poke enemies. Yes, I do. I'm just sitting here telling you guys, like, I don't remember one iota of the Lancer storyline, and then I proceed to not bother to read anything this guy has to say. Just like, give me the friggin' pole. Look, I got a stripper competition later tonight, and I need a pole. Just give me the class already. I don't care about your lore. Just give me the friggin' class so I can get a dancer pole. Now I have my stripper pole. And in fact, doubly so, because as soon as I equip it, boom! They just spear this into the ground and put on a show for you guys. Alright, idiot. Teach me. On a hunt for mysterious feral beasts terrorizing small folk. I mean, that sounds like anything we do as marauders. Let's go. Leviathan of the dunes lurk, a sandworm of gargantuan proportions. Okay, go kill a giant sandworm. Particularly sensitive to vibrations of the earth, such as those made by running. If you're looking to summon the beast... yeah. Walk without rhythm. Oh my god, my dragon landed and made rhythm. What a weak enemy. Although, again, I am level 50, so it's not surprising. Although my gear is not. My gear is pretty underpowered. Crystal grows ever stronger. Raging sandworm, beast within you, slowly but surely rouses to wakefulness. You think you will find yourself capable of movements heretofore unfamiliar with you. Yep. I'm soaked all the way up to my nips. Please let me get out of this stupid water for a while, Curious Gorge. What's next? Mithril Tempest. Nice. I get my second freaking AoE combo. Okay, go to Wineport then. Just tomahawk an axe into him. Buddy, you good? I'm possessed, but mistake him for a very beast he hunts. At least the child's parents have been feeding her a few too many ghost stories for her own good. He didn't even really lose control. He was just like raging a little and killing the enemy. That's just standard Barbarian-esque type fighting. If the kid's scared by that, this kid is not ready for the real horrors of this world. Reaction to a situation for which I was completely unprepared. I was in complete control of my inner beast, and I realized that to the layman's eye, it may have seemed that, well, the opposite was true. It will be nice to actually have a 50 warrior. Not just level 50, but like all the skills for a 50 warrior and all that. But then I need to get myself a nice set of armor for him. Looking the part. Searching for ancient relics. Oh, we're up to the actual, like, artifact armor set at this point. I have some exciting news. I'm going to send you off to gather a set of armor that you don't like, you don't care about, you don't like the look of, and you'll never wear again. Oh, and BT dubs, I'm going to force you to equip it before you talk to me next time, too, just to be even more of a pain. Resonance with the plating was too weak as to allow a proper connection with it. I think I know why. My soul crystal, it once burned bright like yours, but since the events at Wineport has been reduced to a lifeless husk. Tome is quite clear about what would happen with the powers of the armor to be bestowed upon one whose soul is weak. The inner beast would devour the mind of the wearer, would go on a mindless rampage that would end only with the mercy of death. Like the crazed fiends we battle. The armor sensed his weakness and refused to attune to him, basically. Location of the final piece of relic armor. You'd seek the ultimate relic of my people? Consume the very soul of the most puissant warrior? Well, if you're truly convinced of your readiness, I will not be the one to stand in your way. The moment you feel yourself losing control to your inner beast overcoming you, cast the armor aside, except I never feel anything even remotely close to that. Good job being weak, idiot. Well, hello there, idiot. Time to get hatcheted by this tiny baby's little squeak toy axe. Bonk. 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 Like, I'm not even using any of my mitigations or anything. Because so much of these enemies is just like, nope, they're all sweet to me. Hand it over! Uh-huh. Simply cannot entrust such a relic to an outsider who may be overwhelmed by its power. Nope. Words with me, then come. I will not run away. Shut up, you whiner. I can handle the armor unlike you. I had no choice. Whatever. The power when I do not even trust myself. Yeah, well, if you don't trust yourself, then you should have had no say in whether I get the power or not. The whispers of the village ancestors. And they tell me to inflict OGCD violence upon the world. How to quit you. Infuriate. Nice. I'm gonna get infuriate. Cool. I'll be able to use my horrible, horrible axe-smashing rage more often. My tiny little baby is gonna drown in these cutscenes because these idiots insist on having me meet him at the waterfall. Like... Do you not understand I'm a tiny, tiny petite? How dare you meet me in what's like ankle-deep water for you? I'm gonna drown! Enemy lies within! Take control of the beast. Do not let it consume you! Yep. Your whole family line is weak and pathetic. Whatever. To restore. Fate of our people rests in our heads. This would cost us everything. Yes, so beat him up. Chosen me to lead our people to glory, and no one shall stop me. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of, that's some major ego you have there. Good job, idiot. You just lost control. You're weak and cowardly and totally overwhelmed by your own beast. Good job, moron. You've made it our problem now. Greatest warrior, I am the master now. Okay, time for me to beat this idiot's brains in. Luckily, he's got very few brains for me to damage, so it's time for me to just cave his head in. Terror for your bloody corpse. Bored now. Oh no, he home ganged me. Oh, boo-hoo. There, get shielded. Like, yeah, sure, you home ganged me. Who cares? I don't even need the heals, man. Like, they create all these heals. Ooh, inner rage, though, on the other hand. Nascent end. Was that just literally another heal? Oh, these worthless heals I don't need. Boom, idiot. Time together, my brother and I will restore our village to its former glory. Great, good for you. Give me my armor and my skill and piss off for a long time until I bother to do the Heavensward quests. And it's like, yeah. Okay, fine. We worked out all the artifact armor stuff. Now I'm gonna go cram it in a dresser drawer and never touch it again. Like, never equip it, never touch it. Thanks to you, I've rediscovered what I lost so many years ago. See to my brother's wounds once he is well, we'll embark on the path of the warrior again. The moment I have vowed this to myself, my soul crystal began to shimmer anew. Boom. And done. The quests for warrior, for Rome Reborn. In order to undertake the next one, you must finish off Heavensward. Yep. Also, there are a couple of other streamers in here. I am the warrior. 1. That is enough for today. I'll go ahead and I will call it Here